Hello, and thank you for joining us here on the Neutral Zone. I am Phil Milani, joined as always by my trusty sidekick, my partner in crime. Really, the best way to describe this person is my everything. It's at Eric Dalla.
Phil, nice to be back in our normal podcast studio.
Is it?
I miss the sun.
You know, I was walking down the hallway earlier this week. I saw Broncos general manager George Payton. He said, Phil, I'm surprised you came back. I enjoyed myself down there.
You look a little tan.
Yeah.
Got some good sun.
We both had a nice time.
Got some good sun, yeah.
Yeah.
Did some work, of course. A lot of work.
We did a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Let's just be honest, okay? We did a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Including the Neutral Zone from down there.
That's right.
I think that the feedback on last week's show, pretty good.
They liked it.
I think they liked the show. Should we read a couple of YouTube comments?
We should.
Let's just get going on this episode, okay? I got a Donna Didier.
Donna, one of our biggest fans, of course.
Your humor, knowledge, and professional contacts make for a fantastic podcast. I look forward to it every week. Thank you, Donna.
Thanks, Donna.
That's a nice comment.
That's really nice.
Steve Barone. This show is excellent. The Broncos will be great. The vibe and excitement is fantastic.
It's true. Hard to argue with that.
Edwin Espinoza. Great show as always. Great content. Go Broncos.
Thank you, Edwin.
Donna also, a second comment
She's
here.
back.
You guys are so funny in a cryptic kind of way. Is it cryptic?
I don't know.
I think that NZ Nation knows what it's all
They
about.
know it. They know what we're talking about.
They know. We got some voicemails. They're back this week. Okay,
They're back?
The voicemails are back. At the end of the show, people are picking up on some of the cryptic humor, I think.
They're picking up what you're putting down, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Michael DePasquia. I don't know how to say that. How do you say Michael? That's a long one.
De Pasqualo, I think, maybe.
Sorry. I also don't know how to read. So, love you guys. Looks nice. I miss Florida.
Yeah. I miss it, too.
Yeah.
We're in quarter zips again, Phil.
Yeah. Back in the cold. We're back in the
It's
quarter
windy
zips.
out here in Denver.
Just a couple more if you
Oh,
will.
yeah. Sorry.
I could go all day. But
Praise Phil is the way to go.
Derek Terrell smashed the like button. Air horn priceless. Pretty nice. How do you do that, Eric? Yeah. Jasmine, sup guys? Weather looks great.
It was great.
Okay. Nick Savantink, I believe, says, Eric, you're not in the mix of everything now. You need to talk to Phil about this discussion.
I don't really know I don't know what that one was about.
What? No, you're
Not everybody's nice.
Yeah, you're my everything. Don't worry about that. Edwin Espinoza has a second comment. Was Eric hungover?
No. Oh, my gosh.
God.
Questioning my dedication to my job.
Ben Swanson needs to filter these a little bit
that's-
better, I think. Okay.
What's he even doing?
The last one here, it says, this one's from Northwoods RV Life. Am I the only one that thinks Eric being Phil's everything is just a little weird?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
You are the only one.
Yes. Please, if you're going to comment, just make it nice.
Yeah, just praise us, please. It's a good play.
Yeah, exactly. Eric, being back in the building, though, you could feel maybe something's right around the corner.
That's right.
You can just sense it.
The excitement, it's here.
Of course, I'm talking about the off-season program.
Right. Well, what else would you be talking about?
That's
what everyone's been waiting on.
Everybody's talking about that.
They're kind of counting the minutes, the seconds even.
Yeah. The Broncos will be back in the building on Monday, pump and iron mostly for 2 weeks.
They'll see you in there, huh?
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I got to adjust my schedule a little bit because they're back in there. I do use a lot of the weights. So,
right.
Yeah, but it'll be nice to have the guys back in the building. There's a little more energy around here.
Some good energy. You kind of get it's like a little taste before training camp.
A little taste. So maybe in this episode we should talk about what do the Broncos need to achieve during this off-season program period.
Yeah.
There's so many phases, Eric. It
Oh,
kind
my
of
gosh.
gets a little bit complicated.
Yes, it's
Who knows what phase they're in? Is it mandatory? Is it voluntary?
It's voluntary.
Can they be on the field? Do they put on helmets? I'm all very. Like, what is going on? I just want to see Russell throw bombs.
right. Every morning I'll say, Phil, they are allowed to be here today. They're allowed to be on the field, or they're not, or they're going to be. I'll tell you what's going on.
I'm just so emotional.
I'll
about
keep
it,
you on track.
Yeah, you're
They
like,
don't
here's
start
what-
on the field.
Oh god.
They just lift and they run.
And then how do you keep DVOA for that?
Oh my gosh, there's a way. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay, yeah. So that's what we'll get into a little bit on this episode, and then we'll wrap things up with some voicemails.
Perfect.
And we got one email that we'd
Yeah,
like to read.
of course.
Eric, how do people do that if they'd like to be a part of the show?
Well, you could leave an email at neutralzoneshow@gmail.com. You could leave a voicemail at
Whoa.
707-NEUTRAL. You don't have to talk to anybody. Ben Swanson, he's been trying to pick it up. Like, he'll hear the ring and he'll pick it up,
It's
and we
too
say,
fast.
Ben,
Yeah.
it's not your job.
Yeah.
It's not your job, Ben.
But he does filter them afterwards.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, and then
We get some angry ones.
yeah. Yeah, yes we do.
So that's one way. You could tweet at us directly, at Eric Delisle with an A,
Uh-huh.
at Phil Milani. It's with a PH.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Non-traditional spelling there.
Very not. Yeah.
You could follow at Broncos Podcasts.
Whoa.
You could be the very first person.
Okay, got it. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. What is it?
Broncos Podcasts.
And how do you spell? Is that
With a B.
That's
Traditional.
traditional.
Yeah, traditional.
That one's traditional.
With BR.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, like we mentioned at the top of the show, just follow us on YouTube.
YouTube,
Check
yeah.
out the QZs.
Smash
the
it.
hair.
QZs, yeah. We're
the hair.
back. No sunglasses today.
No.
Maybe I should just start wearing them inside. A little mysterious. Cryptic, even.
Yeah, that could be cryptic. Are you cool enough to do that though?
No.
You got to be
No,
pretty
no,
cool
no.
to wear sunglasses inside.
I don't think I'm cool enough.
Yeah. It's a tough look.
That's
to
kind
pull
of that's a little tease to one of our voicemails, I think.
off. Oh. You're
the-
sneaky like that.
You're the best in the biz.
You're sneaky like that. Eric, let's just go ahead and dive into the show here, starting with our first and only topic. And, of course, that is what should the Broncos do? What do they need to achieve during the offseason program?
Did Ben Swanson put together this rundown?
Yeah.
One topic.
I know.
Come on.
I was like, we need more. The fans are
We had 5,
demanding
6,
it.
7 things we wanted to talk about, and Ben
Yeah.
said, keep it simple.
well. Maybe the voicemails and emails will kind of.
We wanted to have Russell
dive
on the show with us, and Ben said, not
Yeah.
this week.
And Russell was like, I don't know. He was pretty devastated when I told him.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben said no. He was like, what? Really?
He was
You
like,
know-
I understand. I got to work my way up. I got to earn this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We'll get there. We'll
Yeah.
have him on eventually.
Well, Russ is going to throw out the first pitch at the Rockies game.
Yeah. Get a look at that arm for the first time, huh?
How do you think, if you were to do it,
Yeah.
what would you be your approach? Like, would you throw it right in there, or would you kind of just get some air under it and just kind of
make sure.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun. The only way anyone remembers a first pitch is if you do a horrible job. You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I would just,
So
I'd
you
get
would
it
put
in
the
there
air-
nice and
you put
easy.
some air under
Make
it.
sure it gets there.
Got it. So you take the safe way.
Yeah.
Because if you zip it in there, maybe somebody be like, okay, Eric's got a nice little cannon here.
Yeah.
Or like maybe even someone like Russ, there's some pressure to deliver it.
I remember one good first pitch ever. You know?
Who did it?
George Bush.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah,
liked it.
at the Yankees game, right? That was a
There's-
big moment.
There's some famously really bad ones.
Right, but I'm saying I only remember one good one. I
Yeah.
remember a lot, like 50 Cent.
50
Bad.
Cent, bad. It pains me to say this, but Peyton's was not great at the
Yeah,
All-Star game.
no?
He said like
great.
3 or 4 people canceled, and they just asked him to do it. He didn't really have enough time to practice. We know that Peyton likes to prepare.
Yep.
And he was put on the spot, and it
Wasn't great.
wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't.
No,
it
but
wasn't
there's been some real bad ones.
I would think that Russ has a little bit of pressure here.
Yeah.
Baseball guy, drafted by the Rockies, quarterback, new in town.
Shouldn't he throw it from like second base or shortstop to first? Wouldn't that be more appropriate?
He's a ceremonial around the
Throw it
loop
around
there.
the bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, enough baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's just talk about the offseason program a little bit here. First, the Broncos.
How much weight you want him to pick up and then put down?
Yeah, so you pick it up and then they put it back down.
Yeah.
They should do that over and over and over and over.
Until they're really strong.
Yeah, and then play football.
Yeah.
Perfect. That is what I think they should do.
Yeah. That's what this is.
But what aside from just the weightlifting and conditioning to start here, what is it that you think the Broncos need to do this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's really full speed during the offseason program, so you're not going to get a look at, like, Bradley Chubb coming off the edge full speed. Like, that's not the sort of thing you're going to be able to evaluate here, because when you look at the questions, those are some of the questions. Like, how does a secondary work full speed? How does Bradley Chubb work full speed?
You only care about full speed.
You don't get those answers, I don't think, in the offseason program. So I'm more interested in some, like, little kind of clues.
Oh, you put on your investigator
some clues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, is Pat Surtain going to travel with a top receiver?
See, that's what I was going to say. I was like, the whole new coaching staff, this offseason program actually is important for the Broncos because there's a lot that we just don't know.
And the biggest goal, if we're talking about goals, is learn this new language, essentially. Yeah. Nathaniel Hackett said that when we were down in Florida at the annual meeting. He said they gotta learn this language.
Yeah.
And so Russell Wilson, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Albert O, Tim Patrick, those guys all got to get on the same page. They got to learn that language. On the defensive side, Ejiro Evero, Coach E.
Yep.
They got to learn that defensive language because it's going to be a little bit different. Even though it's kind of the same style as what Vic Fangio did here, the calls are going to be different. The specifics are going to be different. It's all about learning that, so when you get to training camp, you kind of hit the ground running, and you can put all that into, effect at that full speed level.
Yeah, exactly. And seeing what maybe things are different. It's the same system, but maybe there are some differences. Is Surtain going to travel? Where are these guys going to line up? How does it look? I think you can maybe get a sense of like, oh, this guy's a starter now.
Yeah.
Like, for example, who's going to be out there alongside Justin Simmons at safety?
Yep.
That'll be interesting. Just little things like that. And then, of course,
who's going to be there? There's reports that Randy Gregory has undergone a scope.
A nice,
a good shoulder scope.
Mouthwash. That's what you're talking about.
I think it was maybe like a
shoulder scope.
Shoulder scope.
Different than mouthwash.
But is Malik Reed going to be there? Is Jonathan Cooper going to be there in his absence? What
will the
side?
Whole team show up for the season program?
What side is Bradley Chubb going to play on? Who's at right tackle?
Yeah.
Those are all things that, they're little clues that are interesting when you're trying to form your opinions about this team and where they are.
Yeah. So that's on the defensive side. On the offensive side of the ball, chemistry, I think, is the big thing here because, for example, a couple years ago when Pat Shurmur came in here, there was no offseason program, and we heard for a long time about how that affected the growth of the offense and that it sort of stunted things with Drew Lock here, and that was the 2020 season, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with Russell Wilson in the building, we've already seen him get the guys together and have a workout at his place in San Diego. I think Jerry Jeudy was in the dark.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy went after
in the
those
storms.
guys, but
still
went.
You get just a sense of okay, how does a ball come out of Russ's hand? Does the ball sort of spin a little different? And for Russ, where do these guys like the ball? What's the very fine details of everything? This is what they're starting to work on here, starting to implement it, starting to really get to know each other. How many times have we talked to Nathaniel Hackett and been like, what's this offense going to look like? And he's like, I just got to get to know these guys.
Yep.
I gotta understand, what they like to do, and then that'll determine the offense. And that's another thing is that Nathaniel Hackett is going to address the team as a whole for the first time with everybody back here. So those are the things that are important to me.
Yeah, and how often does Russ throw it to Cortland versus Jerry versus Tim? I think you start to get a sense for
some favoritism.
Well, last year in the offseason program is when you could tell that Teddy and Jerry had some nice chemistry. And you saw that in week 1 against the Giants last year. Yep. It obviously didn't really continue down the stretch after the injury, but you got a sense right away, hey, something was off between Drew and Jerry in 2020. You could tell right away Teddy and Jerry had this connection, even in the offseason program. So maybe you get a sense right away, Teddy's throwing it up to Cortland Sutton, even though it's at a medium speed, they're on the same page. Or Russ has got a really good deep ball that Tim Patrick can run under. Or he's throwing it a lot to Jerry Jeudy. Or he targets the tight ends. And I think you get a sense for that. Every time they run a play, is Javonte always out there with the starters? Or do they have, Mike Boone or whoever else comes in after the draft or whatever?
Yeah.
Does that person, get some reps there? What happens I know this isn't as interesting to you maybe, but is Josh Johnson up right after Russell Wilson?
Oh,
Is Brett Rippon up? Right
Yeah.
after Russell Wilson? What's happening at that backup quarterback position? I mentioned the right tackle. What does the offensive line look like in general? Because Nathaniel Hackett said all these guys are going to move around.
Yeah.
He mentioned Quinn Miners at guard, but one of these guys who's been a starter, whether it's Reisner, Cushenberry, Glasgow,
Who?
Sir Lloyd Cushenberry III.
Thank you.
Muti even. A couple of those guys are going to end up as backups because there's just not enough space left on the line. And so when they trot out there for day one, who's kind of that surprise guy that's not out there?
Yeah.
All those things are interesting. And then you mentioned at the end of there, kind of the team meeting. This is the time that Nathaniel Hackett has to build this culture. Everyone says,
Set the tone.
Yeah, the excitement's great. He's got a lot of energy. But this is the first time these guys are going to be around him day in and day out. You get to kind of these eventually in the offseason program. You get to the veteran mini camp. You get to mandatory mini camp at the end
So confusing.
at the end of the summer. But when you're spending 12-hour days together in those mini camps, is Nathaniel Hackett able to keep these guys motivated? Are they sharp every day, or is there a lull? How does this kind of translate when you're going through the whole program? You have to set the foundation now for August.
Same with Russ in that area there, because, for example, Peyton Manning, we knew what kind of tone it was going to be like out on the field. How does Russ, if there's a mistake made, how does he handle that? Does he get on the guy? Just get a sense of these guys' personalities.
Do you run the play again?
Yeah. It's been a while since the offense has been the dictator of things out there.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're going offense versus defense or anything like that in the offseason.
In OTAs, they will.
Well, not
full speed.
It's not real. You know what I mean? It's not. It's
this is not good for that.
It's like
people are clicking away from this right now. It's real. It matters.
Well, it matters, but I'm saying that it's not like they're going hard.
Who's the third cornerback? I mean, these are the questions you want to answer.
Yeah, Michael Ojemudia, maybe? He got a chance here?
He had a nice end of the season, I thought.
What's going to happen here?
Had some good PBUs. I think that was against the Chiefs, right?
Nice
Where he
PBUs,
got some time. But, you talk about Russ setting the standard, Nathaniel Hackett setting the standard. It's also a chance for them to kind of work out some of these kinks. Do they start right away?
Yeah.
Is Nathaniel Hackett talking to Russ in person, or is he calling it through the headpiece immediately?
Yeah.
Or where does he have Justin Outen to kind of start getting adjusted?
Operation.
Exactly. You got to.
Maybe they put Outen up
on the roof.
Yeah, exactly. Just
they're like, can you see or no?
Yeah, can you see from up here or no? Higher.
Exactly.
Higher.
How does we'll see a little bit of red zone stuff, I would assume. How does that look right away? How does Coach E kind of get used to calling these defensive plays? Because that's something new for him. I don't think we've asked yet. Have we asked if he's going to be in the box? I don't know if that was asked.
I don't know if that's been asked. I don't think so. We've heard good things about Coach E.
We have, yeah. Sean McVay.
I'm looking for it. I felt better about things on the defensive side after just hearing
some of the praise,
some of the buzz, some good
praise.
praise.
That's right.
So, and he's very fit, Eric. Gosh, I just said hello.
Yeah.
And man,
crushed your hand.
You could tell that he works out.
That's good to know. That could make the difference,
Yeah, I would be afraid of him.
Right. But
So.
I just think that this offseason program, too, is, who's going to show themselves as a leader alongside Russ? Does Justin Simmons stay in that role? Can Bradley Chubb step into that role more? Cortland Sutton, who are those guys? Because it can't just be Russ who delivers this message to the team. And so who kind of steps up alongside those guys? Like when Peyton was here, DeMarcus led that effort for the defense.
On the other side.
Is Justin Simmons that guy where, he can be the DeMarcus per se to
You talk about that Super Bowl 50 team. They had a lot of voices on that team, a lot of characters.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see like who steps up. Who else is there? I think definitely Justin is the main guy, but like I feel like your play has to back it up. You can't just start talking. So
Of course.
I think you do have to back it up on the field. Be interesting to see who steps up here. Eric, you brought up Cortland Sutton's name there. Of course, the Broncos got these deals done with Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton.
Yep.
You got to feel pretty good about getting those things done, considering what the market turned into here for these wide receivers.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, it's a different ball game now compared to what it was even a few months ago. And listen, the Broncos got a good deal. I also think if you're Tim and Cortland, you got a good deal because, one, they wanted to stay here, but two, Cortland's coming off an ACL. One play could put him in a really bad spot. And so I certainly understand why he chose to do that deal at the time. They showed some faith in him. Things weren't, he had some good games, but then I think Judy had come back at that point when he, when he re-signed. Things hadn't been great the last few games, and they still said, hey, we're putting our trust in you for the future. And if you're George Payton, you got those done. They're out of the way. You don't have to worry about imagine if Cortland Sutton were franchise tagged right
Yeah,
now.
that's what I was going to say, because now we'd be talking, are those guys going to show up? Are they going to be here for that? But now
not just
they're
that,
all in. They're bought in.
Is Cortland going to be gone after this year?
Yeah.
Like those are the sort of conversations you have after that.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to just have those things out of the way here. It seems like everybody's bought in. I feel like maybe with Russ here and a new beginning, new coaching staff, everybody's going to be eager to put their best foot forward.
Yeah, and that's another thing about this program is everyone's got something to prove here.
Yeah.
If you're Cortland Sutton, you want to prove, hey, I'm the number one guy. If you're Jerry Jeudy and last season didn't go the way you want, who cares? You've got an opportunity now to make a fresh start. If you're Garrett Bowles and you've had a couple of good seasons at left tackle, you got to show it again.
Yeah.
And you kind of go across the board. Anybody you look at, Javonte Williams had a great rookie season. Well, you got to show Justin Allen, you got to show Nathaniel Hackett that you're able to kind of adapt to this new scheme, that you can handle the workload as the lead back. Everyone here has something to prove to this new staff, and I think because it's a young staff too, they've got something to prove to these players. Justin Allen has to prove to Russell Wilson, hey, I can handle this. I can do this. So it'll be interesting to watch. I think that's good when people have something to prove. You don't want to get stagnant. You don't want to get stuck or where people feel like they can coast by. I think that's when you kind of get into trouble. Should be a good offseason of work where guys can get better and it's all about the foundation, right? Put the foundation in place for training camp.
And we've been walking around here, Eric. The coaching staff has been working hard.
Yeah.
I mean, there, of course, a lot going on, getting ready for the draft here coming up in a couple of weeks, but also just getting ready for the offseason program. There's a lot going on, and you just got to be ready to rock.
And the classroom portion starts right away. They can't be on the field, but these meetings, they can start. You got to start learning. And we've heard a lot here about Nathaniel Hackett saying, this is the YouTube generation. They learn in a different way. You got to keep their attention. He hires John Vieira, which, instructional designer, teaches the coaches, the coaches, I guess.
He's an instructional
designer.
Oh, so he designs instructions.
Maybe.
Like when I buy something like, say, for example, some furniture that I got to put together, and I'm like going through the manual and I'm getting pretty angry and I'm upset and I'm yelling.
Yeah.
He's designed that instruction?
No, I think it's a little more complicated than that.
Oh, God.
I saw him building a Microsoft Surface down the hallway. He was like, there were 3D stuff going on.
That was nice, getting in the Surface.
Yeah.
Smart.
Did you see the catch there?
You smart. That was nice.
I was like, I saw him with an Surface.
Yeah. Is that a sponsor?
Microsoft Surface? Not of the show, but of the Broncos.
Of the
somebody,
NFL, really?
Somebody asked, do you guys even have any sponsors?
Yes.
That was rude.
Of course.
Of course we do.
That's inappropriate.
You think we could afford this studio without sponsors?
Yeah. The lights may stay on the whole time today.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Depends how long we talk.
That is true. Well, with the one topic.
Yeah, that's true.
Eric, with that, let's go ahead and dive into, how about some voicemails? They're back.
They're back. Love it.
Haven't done this in a while.
No, but
nice.
it's back. It's back.
It feels nice. Let's start with an email. This one's from Brady Johnson. Thanks for the email, Brady. I
New
think that might have
emailer?
been a first.
Yeah,
First
potentially.
time. Phil, Eric, hope you guys are doing well. With the 2022 draft just a few weeks away, I wanted to get your opinion on something. If one of the big name quarterbacks, he points out here, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, falls to pick number 64, do you think the Broncos will draft him as a guy to learn under Russell Wilson, like Coach Hackett's been talking about, or will the Broncos address another need such as corner or edge rusher? That's the first question. Then he says,
more than one.
also
Wow.
wanted to pick your brains about a potential uniform design.
Oh, okay.
Should we do that? Let's answer the first question.
Okay.
Let's answer the first one. What do you think?
It's
Would
a
they go
good
after a quarterback?
It's a good thought, and I think that had you traded for Aaron Rodgers, it definitely could have been an option. I don't think that it's very likely now because you don't have as many picks, you don't have as many high picks. 64 is kind of that first one. You then have 5 between 64 and 116, but you don't kind of have that top pick to be able to get a starter where then maybe you could splurge on a position like that. And I also think that regardless of all of that, Russell Wilson has stated a desire to play here for 10 to 12 more years. So you could draft that person, they could never play. And secondly, as you try to find a backup for Russell Wilson, George Payton said the value of a veteran guy is super important. That's why they brought in Josh Johnson. So I can't see them trusting a backup job, somebody who would maybe have to play to keep this team in playoff contention. I can't see them trusting a rookie to do that. You don't need that guy to become your starter really anytime soon. So I'd be really surprised if they take a quarterback
With their first pick of the draft.
Yeah, and really anywhere before. Plus, with your first pick in the draft, sends a message that you probably don't want to send.
Yeah, exactly. And if the Broncos are trying to win, they need to address some other areas.
Yeah. Corner, edge rusher, right tackle, inside linebacker. Those are all, maybe a tight end if Trey McBride kind of suits your fancy.
You like that. You brought that up a few times.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't either.
No.
Albert O was what, a 4th round pick?
Yeah, I think edge or right tackle is where I'd go.
Yeah. There's some
Or
value there.
I do like Chad Muma. You know who that is?
Excuse me?
Chad Muma?
No, I don't know who that is.
Wyoming linebacker.
Oh, I have heard about him.
Yeah. He could be around maybe 3rd round if you're lucky.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's kind of a Logan Wilson type.
Yeah.
Who, of course,
know
plays
that.
for.
Logan Wilson plays for Buffalo?
This is why we keep you around. Nice job.
This is like
Nice job.
the Charles Barkley.
Nice job.
Yeah. Was that right?
No, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Charles Barkley, who he played for?
Yeah. We should do that.
That would be bad for me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start naming random players. You tell me where he plays, okay?
Hit me.
Tyson Campbell.
NBA player?
No, that's not a – oh, my goodness, no. Okay, sorry.
Tyson Chandler. Tyson Campbell. Went to Georgia, right? The corner?
Wow, I'm just really disappointed. I'm just disappointed.
He went to
It's like-
CU, I'm
I can
sure.
just name
Sure went
guys,
to
you know what I
CU.
mean? And then there's – you know how many guys are on a football team? 90,
Yeah.
okay? Multiply by 32.
Where does Tyson Campbell
How
play?
can I handle Jacksonville? Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm 100% sure.
Okay, my phone's all the way down there.
Yeah, and it would be rude if you looked at it.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
It's going to be great when he doesn't
We're
even play
going
there.
to have to edit all of this out of here. Last thing from Brady here. Also wanted to pick your brains about a potential uniform design, Eric. As of the 22 season, NFL teams are now allowed to use an alternate helmet as well as an alternate jersey. Will we see the return of the royal blue helmets featuring the 90s logo? Keep up the great work and go Broncos. Thank you, Brady.
So my understanding based on the uniform rules is that you could always change the logo because the Broncos have done that, of course, with the alternate D when they do the color rush jerseys.
Yes.
It's that the color of the helmet could not change.
I believe that is correct.
And now you can have a second color of the helmet. That won't really impact, do you use a different decal? Because you always could have done that,
Yeah,
right?
you could have done
So
that.
that's more of an organizational decision. The Broncos haven't announced anything the way that other teams had, like the Eagles have announced that.
That's pretty cool.
The Buccaneers have announced that. It is cool.
It's fun.
It is fun. I know that Joe Ellis in the past has said any long-term uniform decisions will be left up to the next owner. Mm-hmm. And with as close as, close being a relative term, but with the team currently for sale, wouldn't surprise me if that's just kind of left for the new owner to decide, hey, do we want to do throwbacks more regularly? Do you want to do like the blue jerseys and pair it with something else?
Yeah.
Do you want to bring back the bumblebees?
Really, a new owner could just really do anything.
Yeah. I guess they're not quite bumblebees, but the yellow and brown.
I think it would be cool if they brought back the 90s logo.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I like that idea. Of course, when, like, say, Russell Wilson gets traded to the Broncos, a lot of fans put out these. They put out the Photoshops.
Yeah.
I think the fans like the throwbacks. They like mixing it up. College teams do this.
Yep.
I think it could be kind of fun, as long as it doesn't just get completely out of control.
Well, and you're allowed to do one, so
yeah,
it wouldn't get. We're not going straight Oregon here.
Exactly. That's a little too much, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Eric, should we get to some voicemail?
Let's do it.
Let's get. I think this is our friend. I haven't heard from him in a while. Tom Agnetti.
Tom.
Hey, fellas. Tom Agnetti here. Haven't left a message in a while. I was a little behind watching this week's podcast and saw you guys in your casual gear, sporting your shades, looking cool. I almost didn't recognize you at first. I was out. My son graduated boot camp for the Navy, and now he's in the ceremonial guard in D.C., which is pretty cool because he's a couple hours away, and that's a pretty cool thing. I've just been watching, following all the content that you've been putting out there. It was great at the meetings. You had all that info in terms of the one-on-one interviews and everything, and that was really helpful. And it's really like a just wait and see game now. We're just trying to see what this thing is going to look like, and I'm pretty hyped. I haven't been this hyped as a fan since Manning left, honestly. So I'm usually positive anyway, but starting to feel like maybe I have a real reason to be positive. This looks legit watching these Russell Wilson hype videos. So anyway, thanks again. I wish you guys the best. And I am curious just what you guys think we're going to focus on in the draft. And I'll leave it at that. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Tom, thanks for the voicemail. Congratulations to your son.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Major achievement there. What do you think Tom meant when he said I couldn't really recognize you guys immediately?
Yeah, he said he was surprised, right?
He said you guys look cool. You had your sunglasses on. I almost didn't recognize you.
It sounded like a shot.
It sounded like a little bit of a shot. I'll just be honest.
Yeah.
Tom. Wow.
Don't do that to us.
He liked our content down there, though.
He did.
We worked.
Some good content.
We went to work.
A lot of work.
Did
a
work.
lot of content.
Where are the Broncos going to focus on in the draft? Kind of just mentioned.
Yeah, just mentioned it. And he talks about being hyped. Tom, you got to sound a little more hyped.
Yeah, not our usual Tom.
No, we like gentlemen.
Yes. I was looking forward to that, and I didn't get it.
Nope.
Maybe
he actually went with a "Hey
time.
fellas." He kind of borrowed from Brandon.
Our friend in Iowa,
yeah.
Of course. I wanted a gentleman, though.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to another voicemail here.
Hey, guys. It's your guy out in California. Listening to the podcast, the overtime thing, I think it's absolutely better to take the ball last if you win the coin toss, not just for the fact that you can see what the other team is doing if they do score a touchdown, but you have the opportunity to use 4 downs several times on your drive. It's no different than things are now with the current rules, but that first team, I don't know why I don't see this more often, but the first team, if they are looking at a 3 and out, they basically have to punt to try to protect the tie. If you take the ball second, you obviously can try and stop them on the first one, but if they score the touchdown, you have an opportunity to do the same thing, but 4 downs. I mean, 2.5 yards a down, that's like 3 Teddy Bridgewater deep balls. Not a shot, just saying. Yeah, you can take your time and get down the field. Absolutely better to take the ball in the second possession. Anyway, looking forward to the next one. Bye.
Jeff, not a shot.
Jeff.
Wow.
Jeff.
It kind of felt like a shot.
It sounded like a
It
shot.
sounded like a shot.
It acted like a shot.
It felt like a shot, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a shot, I
Yeah, it
guess.
smelled like a shot.
Yep. Yeah, it quacked like a shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But it was Jeff.
Jeff also a
Good
little
to hear from him.
icy a little bit from Jeff. Said it's your friend from California.
No, of course. It was nice to
Is
hear
he-
from
is
Jeff.
he
I'd
mad
say
at us,
that.
though?
No. I don't think so.
Jeff, don't be
I
mad
think
at
it was
us.
nice.
Jeff,
It
don't
was
be
nice to hear from Jeff. Appreciate the,
Yeah, of
the
course.
voicemail. What do you think? You think he brings up a good point.
mad. Yeah,
you got
and
the fourth
I
down
hadn't thought about that.
benefit there of just knowing what you got to do.
It's true.
Well, to me, Eric, it's interesting because I guess it just depends on how much confidence you have in your defense. Like if you think you're both going to score, it would be better to get the ball first because then you just go and kick a field goal and win the game.
I think if you have one of these elite quarterbacks and you got Mahomes, for example, I think you just take the ball and you say,
Go.
we're going to trust our guy and nothing
Yeah.
else matters.
Because, like, say it's that crazy situation at the end of that Bills game
Yeah.
and Chiefs, both teams are just scoring there.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, it's better to have the ball first because then after both teams score in overtime,
You score again.
then you just got to kick a field goal and you win it. It's over.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, if you get the ball second, you have the benefit of knowing what you got to do.
Then they'll change the rule again.
Yeah.
It's
hard
a good
to keep up.
It's a good point, though. I
hard to
hadn't
keep
thought
up.
about that.
About the fourth down. Yeah.
Though if you're getting to fourth down,
It's not
that's
great.
not good.
It's not good.
You don't want to really. You don't want to get to fourth
You
down
don't
for this.
get to fourth down and win.
No. Josh Allen did though a lot
You see.
in that game,
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 times.
Maybe you're thinking about the Justin Herbert. Or did Allen? Allen did some
I think
fourth
Allen
downs
did it too. Herbert did it like every snap.
Herbert did it. Every snap was fourth
It
down.
was like
for Herbert.
fourth and 35, and he's like, no problem.
That's the Chargers Raiders game, Week 18,
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football.
Great
Drama.
game. Great game.
Drama.
Great game.
Palpable. It was nice.
Great game. The tie.
Yeah, they were. They wanted the tie for a little, and then they didn't get the tie. So the fourth down. It's interesting. Eric, it was nice to hear from NC Nation a little.
Good to hear from him.
Good to hear from NC Nation. Appreciate that. Do you have any shout-outs you want to get to as we wrap things up here?
Ooh, that could be really nice.
It would be.
Yeah. We'll shout out Liz Gerald's.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. Anybody, you got nothing else. Huh?
That's
You
all I got.
Nothing else. I was going to shout out Quinn Miners.
Oh, yeah.
He hosted us there in Wisconsin for a little bit. Also, Coach Bullis over there at Wisconsin Whitewater. Powerhouse. D3 powerhouse in Wisconsin there. Whitewater, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Powerhouse.
Maybe Roya Burton?
But she doesn't work in digital media anymore.
No, but she gave digital media a shout out.
That's true. Some nice praise.
Some nice praise for digital
it.
media. We send it back your way, Roya, if you're listening.
Roy doesn't.
Roya now works in personnel.
Yes.
She's very busy.
Maybe somebody's wondering what
Where's
happened
Roya?
to Roya.
Yeah.
Uh,
Personnel department.
She's in the personnel department, and since then she's had a lot of success.
A lot of success. You get away from us, you get a lot of success.
One of the things the Broncos have really prioritized, certainly this last year, is DEI, Eric. And there was a critical conversation that we had earlier this week. I had a really great guest speaker come and speak to the whole organization. And at the end, they had a little panel discussion. Roya Burton, part of that panel.
Yeah.
As a part of her discussion, shout out, praise digital media.
Roya.
That, you brought it up.
Tremendous.
So I had to just explain.
I was shouting out to Roya.
Explain. Yeah.
And then maybe I'll shout out too our friend Gabriel Christus,
Yeah, joining the
full-time member now of the Broncos, team photographer. He's been around a long time, but
does some amazing work.
now he sits in the office with us. I don't know how
doesn't
long
wanna
he wants to do that.
Yeah, exactly. He's having second
Yeah,
thoughts.
he's like, maybe that's not a good idea.
Maybe I should. What have I done?
Yeah,
I think
because
he's,
it's just like I'm like, hey Phil, and you're like,
we're just
hey
young.
Eric,
It's pretty much like neutral zone all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
But no one has any choice whether they listen to it.
Yeah. They have to suffer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Lucky them.
it's for free.
It's for free and it's all the time.
Yeah.
It's live.
God, that could
in
be
person.
nice.
Any shout outs to like any groundskeepers or anything, Eric? Like say somebody who takes care of a golf course or like
What are you talking about?
maybe like a certain type of cheese sandwich at a golf course that you might be heading to or anything like that?
I'll shout out our guy Brooks, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
that
The
what you're-
Broncos groundskeeper.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about there's like a certain type of flower that blooms at this golf course that like a lot of people like to talk about it. I don't know. I heard that maybe you were going.
A peony?
It wasn't a peony, no.
No.
And it wasn't a hydrangea.
Mm.
No. Tulips are out this time
Tulips.
of year, but
Must
I
be a
don't. That's
tulip.
not what I was talking about either.
Yeah. Pebble Beach?
Daffodils? No. I was talking about a different type of a golf course. That
Does Tyson,
shout out anybody.
whoever,
Campbell?
Carpenter,
Carpenter.
Tyson Campbell, he likes these flowers or no?
Gosh, that's Jacksonville.
Oh,
That's not
got
where
it.
I'm talking
Got
about.
it.
I'm talking about just a little bit further north of there. Is where I
Got
was
it.
talking about.
Are you gonna watch the Masters this weekend?
Is that this weekend?
I think so. I was gonna have it on in the office.
Then I guess I'll be there
Yeah,
watching it with you.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So it could be nice. I would, if I were to like turn on the TV and watch, I would definitely not see you somewhere around there, would I?
Maybe in the reflection of the TV, like at my desk.
Yeah, that glare sometimes. is
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. And I'll be like squinting my eyes. I'll be like, "Is that Eric?" And you'll be like, "Yes, it's me over here."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Phil, I've been here since 4 a.m. What are you talking about?
You get in with Coach Hackett, huh? Same
Yeah,
thing? You guys
mhm.
carpool or no?
I scoop them up.
Yeah, with these gas prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, this economy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's probably time to wrap up the show.
That last part didn't make a lot of sense.
No, it didn't. But if you watch, maybe you know. Cryptic. Donna.
That's for you, Donna.
Okay, I think that it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back next week as the players are in the building. Maybe we'll have a nice little podcast.
It could be really good.
It'll be nice. So we'll be back next week. Until then, for Eric Bilal, I'm Phil Milani. You've been listening to
The Neutral Zone.